Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. I wanted to put up a review here for the Ocean update. I wanted to make sure I'd played this a good 6, 7, 8 weeks before I put anything up. I wanted to test out a bunch of stuff, and overall, I definitely give it a big thumbs up. Again, as far as somebody wanting me to recommend buying it or that sort of thing, I'm just going to give you my honest opinion on it. I do, in particular, if the Ocean update itself, I think is amazing. Now, I am a person that doesn't mind if Fishing Planet puts out a good DLC. I do not mind purchasing it. With that being said, also though, I am not a really big spender. I've probably played the game around 4.5, 5 years now, and I've probably got $300 to $400 invested, maybe somewhere in there around $350. But when they do put something good up like this, I don't mind showing my support, and if it's worth it. Again, for me, it's worth it. Now, what you kind of got to weigh your odds are. Some people, and that's one of the best thing I would say about Fishing Planet, it is a free-to-play game. You don't necessarily have to purchase anything on Fishing Planet. It's a grindy game in itself, so you can not even spend a dime on the game and have hours and hours and hours of fun. But I think as the game's evolved, the devs themselves did an amazing job. I think on this map, as you can see there, this is probably just I think a 95-pound setup or something silly, something like that. That was me just kind of going through. I want to say that was a 15-20 minute fight time, but I was able to get that fish, and I'm just kind of showing you. Now this is off the most recent update or patch, but as you can see, they did reduce the fight time some, but they're probably just for the entry level guys that are coming into this map. The DLC stuff they give you is not horrible, but you're going to notice even with me doing a little bit of real shredding here, just various parts of this clip of me just fighting another fish. Now this isn't a marlin. As you guys well know, those things can run even more, so I don't recommend this setup for you. You're kind of going to be stuck with what you're stuck with, again, if you haven't bought the DLC and that sort of thing. Now, the DLC rods they give you, I think, are, suitable. Now, the big deal is you can't swap reels out whenever you damage one like you can something that you bought out of the shop. And it's kind of going throughout this video, I will talk on various things. Kind of spin off one direction to the other, that sort of thing. But I was just kind of wanting to illustrate that you can get some unique fish. Even on the smaller gear, you're just looking at a longer fight time. I don't know what the perfect number would be. And again, here's just one kind of a bad note. Now, they have fixed this, I think, for the most part. One of my most frustrating things when I first started playing here at the Ocean, that you will find that this here right here is glitched out. That was one of the most obnoxious things. This was actually a 32-minute fight live stream, and the game crashed, so I wasted 32 minutes real time fighting a fish, and I know this happened to a lot of people. I did expect a lot of bugs, but this is one I think that they did fix. Now, I could make a whole separate issue or a video probably on bugs alone in the game right now, and I expect that. But as far as like the graphics and stuff, as you can see, there are some dolphins jumping in the background. They did a phenomenal job, I think, in my opinion, and that sort of thing. The graphics are spectacular. As well as the trolling with friends, I think was one of the most funnest missions I've ever did here on Fishing Planet. Was working on at the time, the plug mission. I think now it's just trolling with friends. But we were able to get all those done, and that was a lot of fun. I think, again, not to keep repeating myself, but the Ocean trolling mission was a blast, and you got to level up and that sort of thing. But I think on an odd note, I think until they work on some of this, the fight times I would be probably kind of on the top of my list as far as reducing them a little bit. You don't want to make it, know who you are. I don't think that you want to go to the point where you're having, 35, 45-minute fight times. That's just not usually who you are as a game in particular. I think most people would agree. You really don't want to fight a fish maybe over 5 to 8 minutes, 10 minutes tops. At least that might be my number. And I did ask a lot of people on a stream one day kind of what their number was, and that seemed to be the general consensus is most people don't want to fight a fish no matter how big it is for more than 5 to 10 minutes. Somewhere in there, and me in particular too, sometimes I think towards the end of the clip I'll show you where I pull in a fish, I think in 3 minutes or less, a 400-pound marlin. So it's kind of trying for them probably to try to find a balance, what people like. And again, everybody's number could be a little different there, but just kind of showing you there that wasn't too bad of a fight time as well. Again, that's just kind of going over fight times. Now, as far as the boats itself, I think they're phenomenal, except for that bar right in the way. And as if you could swivel, Fishing Planet devs, if we could actually swivel all the way around instead of looking from one side to the next. Now the panel and everything I think is very, very cool. This is the $60 boat. Please forgive me, I forgot the names of the boats. I do later on in the clip show the $40 boat. My buddy Grizzly helps me out with. But as far as the panel and stuff, it's amazing, all this stuff, the graphics as well here, and being able to zoom in and see the detail on the map. I think that was an amazing addition, as well as that little sonar there where you can, the echo finder, where you can see the depth of the fish and all that stuff. I think that is very, very amazing. My hat's off to the devs on that. It's an awesome thing. Now, this is one little small thing that I will nitpick at. I was really hoping to have more of like a vertical jig here. This is one just like a small critique. Again, this is my channel, so I'm going to give you an honest review. I'm a guy that loves lure fishing in general. Again, I will show a clip towards the end on something else, but this is just kind of just showing you there's not really a jigging option in my opinion. It's more just a stop and go or a lift and drop. I kind of wish it might be really hard for them to do, but as you can see here, it's just kind of clunky. I can't really tell if I'm changing much water depth as far as rising and, lifting and dropping, lifting and dropping. I do wish they had some kind of vertical jigging option, especially I know a lot of this is just trolling here, and I've had a lot of fun trolling, but if you're looking to free fish and you're wanting to fish in 300 or 400 or 500 feet of water, that sort of thing, I do wish you could change the water column or have something that you could tell if you're dropping at 10 foot, pulling it up 20 foot, that sort of thing. It's just kind of seems a little clunky there for me. Again, just kind of looking here at the dolphins, I think that's just something that's really cool. I should have tried to get a clip. They actually have wells and stuff that you'll see. So again, they did really well. Now, funny little bug here. There's a lot of little bugs in the game, but I couldn't help but show this. It's like sometimes your friend's avatars glitch out, and this one is a very odd one. They were pretty much zombified over there, turned into zombies somehow. And just kind of showing something here, another bad thing that I noticed. As you can tell there, my reel is showing that it's not taking damage, so I thought I was glitched out again. As you can see there in real time, that it's just not taking damage. So, boom. But it was taking damage, even though it wasn't showing it's taking damage, small things. This is a big, big negative for me. Now, I know that the devs are hoping to get money back on this, but this is one of those things that kind of does feel like it's behind a paywall in regards to the boat, as well as the storage. You can only keep a fish up to 330 pounds here with this boat. This is the panel you're looking at, and that's not bothering me as much because you can circle back to the Congo, make all the money you want, keep all the fish you want there. Now, maybe they'll add a boat at some point, and I'm kind of confused why they just didn't have a boat pack. For some of the guys that don't want to drop $60 to $80, in other countries as well, like I got a buddy in Canada, it would cost him around 80 Canadian just to get this update. And I do expect them to get a return on all the work that they put into this. So I don't want to sound negative in that regard, but I think this could have been done in a little better taste, in my opinion. This mainly the boat itself, and hopefully they do add some store credit boats, or at least a cheap $5, $10 respectively, just a boat alone. And I just kind of want to point out one thing here. To me, when I was doing this, I'd had this, I think, one time on stream, and I had to park this boat and get the boat that I bought because I did buy the DLC. It's just mainly the window itself. It's one thing not to be able to keep your fish, but just in general, this was actually making me sick to my stomach trying to look out of this boat's window. I don't know why this has to be the way that it is. I do feel that at some point, it's one thing to give the players a boat that's slower, doesn't have the fish capacity or the live well capacity, that sort of thing, but it's another thing entirely. You would think that that would just be a safety hazard in general, not to be able to have a full field of view. As you can see there, I think I even advanced time here just to kind of show it in the sun, but you'll see that, gosh, this will make you almost nauseous. Not to mention, for the guys that are wanting to show off this map. Now, obviously, when you're fishing, look how beautiful the map is, but that window there, for me, is one of the biggest drawbacks for any of the poor guys that are trying to truly play this as free to play. And I get that. And like I said, some of you guys out there that might just be in cheapskates, it doesn't hurt to help the game evolve. But I do think, again, on the dev side, you need to add either some small boat packs. What's wrong with having a smaller boat pack for these guys? Even if it's a $10 pack, that sort of thing, give them a boat that they can fish. And at the very least, if you're wanting to just turn it into a grinder thing, maybe you do something where they can increase their live well or something like that, in my opinion. And maybe they'll add boats later on. Again, this is about 6 to 8 weeks in from this dropping in here on console, but as you can see here, that window itself, golly, that's just horrible. Drives me crazy. I can't even fish in that boat. It literally, again, not to overstate it, but it does make it almost makes me almost dizzy, rather. So, again, this kind of showing you here with the maintenance mission done. This window, I was hoping when you got the maintenance mission done, as you can see, all my panels on this rental boat are now lit up and functional. So I was hoping maybe they clean the window up on that, but they do not. Just kind of showing you guys what you have in store if you don't buy a DLC currently. This is the boat that you are stuck with without getting a DLC for $40 American or $60, the 2 packs that they currently offer, as well as here's kind of the DLC rods that I got is the $60 pack. Another thing, in my opinion, a small critique here, and please take criticism for what you want, but these are just some other rods and reels that I'm showing you here. Now, I always thought I love skinned rods, and I don't know why Fishing Plants never added skin packs where you can have skin rods, but it kind of left me wondering why the rods that I got for the $60 pack are not something cool like some of these other rods that are here in the game. Anybody that's wanting to know where that rod came from, you can actually, cool part again on a positive note for Fishing Planet, right here on this Monster Hut, it's available around Halloween. You just got to do all the criteria to get that. That is an amazing, one of my favorite rods. I'm just kind of showing you this rod quickly in action. Me, myself, I'm kind of a dork in regards to, I love just skinned rods, that sort of thing. And even maybe if they haven't added skinned packs for your boat, so everybody doesn't have, or even your avatar, some different outfits or something. But I know some of you guys probably get into the skinned rods as well as I do. Going back here now, I'm sitting here with my buddy Grizzly. This is actually the other boat, and forgive me for not knowing all the boats, but this is the $40 or the cheaper boat. One thing I noticed, it is a little slower, but man, it does fine. It does the job. As well as some other small features I thought that was kind of cool is you're on the deck. On the other one, you kind of hop up where that bar's in the way. If you remember at the start of the video, that you'll see that that bar is kind of in the way. If they would ever remove that bar, that would be great on the other bigger boat. So this is the smaller boat, and I'm just kind of showing you here full speed. The panel and stuff is amazing, I think, as well. I didn't really see, anything too drastically different about it. I think the live well might be just a little smaller, but nonetheless, it is a great boat and a great option, I think, in my opinion, if you are looking to get the ocean update. And again, I hope that they add, I hope this is just a start to, some other ocean destinations as well. Maybe a map in Australia or something like that. If you guys remember the South American update where they first brought in Maku and then it was Maroon River, as well as the beautiful, my favorite map on the game right now is still the Amazonian Maze. I love that map. But just kind of showing you here on the mini map once you get this stuff done. Look at the amazing job they did with this mini map system. As you can see, the details and the ledges fall off. I just wanted to make sure I showed that. Extraordinary job on that. And just kind of showing you the difference here too on the boat. I love how this one, the smaller boat, again, I didn't buy this, special thanks to my buddy Grizzly for letting me drive around his boat. But just kind of showing you there, I love that little rod holder off to the side. Definitely a cool thing. One small thing too, I kind of wish the view was out a little bit more. You'll notice sometimes when you're fighting a fish, you can't tell what it is. I kind of wish that this view was kind of up and at a different angle a little bit so you can kind of see the fish that you're fighting. You will kind of notice it's like a zoomed in version. I wish that they would back that off a hair, just make it a little more visually satisfying in my opinion. But again, all in all, I think this, I definitely give this DLC a big thumbs up, and I was also excited to see what's coming. As you can see there, that was a quick fight time for an albacore. Just kind of showing you that was circle trolling, getting that fish, but it's kind of showing you here. Now you will find a difference, where I found fairly quick, is the other one you can only go about 10 to 12%. This one you can go pretty high, as far as 25%. It's just a difference in speeds. But I'm just kind of showing you a straight troll here and just kind of a view on a little bit of differences between that boat, this boat, and the other boat. As you can see, that this nice and handy right there. Other small thing, maybe if they had deck controls where you didn't have to go back, you could just turn your avatar to the corner, something just a little more convenient, but that might have been difficult for them to do. Just kind of in this regard, I'm just hitting X, jumping back, but you just kind of see my point, especially in the bigger boat. If you could just spin around maybe from there and get that. So I'm just kind of showing you here just a couple fish, and then I'm here towards the last part. I'm just going to show you that's fairly quick time. Now watch this very closely. This is for me just picking this fish up. Watch how quick the fight time is on this. And this is a marlin. I'm just kind of showing you here towards from the start to the finish. If you guys remember when I started the video, it was kind of on the entry level at the ocean on the fight time. And this here is in real time, a 400-pound marlin. But I just kind of wanted to show you how quick you can actually get these in. I don't know what the numbers should be. I think it might vary from fish to fish. You guys know as well as I do on Fishing Planet, you could be fishing on for Nile perch, swear you got a unique, and it's a 260-pound trophy that seems to run you out 300 foot or whatever. So you will have some variances there. But this is just me kind of full on trying to get this in as quick as I can. I do hope that they kind of keep this in the game to where you can shred your reels. I think they just got to kind of find what number probably would be best even for competitions, tournaments, and that sort of a thing. But as I rambled on here, I just wanted to show you how quick you can reel this in. I will show you kind of how I set this up. I put this up on my Ocean Rod Review level 90, but as you can see, that was in real time, 67,000. I got that in. There's a little, not the kind of medium-sized marlin there, but just to show you, that's kind of how I set that up. Now, you can put the smaller reel on there, but for me, I like the power of the 198-pound reel. Now, I just wanted to show you on a side note as far as the vertical jigging. This is an entirely different game, but I just kind of wanted to show you here. As you notice, the depth there is changing. That's 76 foot of water. I just kind of wish that somehow Fishing Planet, not to play one game towards the next, because I do love both games, and obviously I cover Fishing Planet 95% of the time. I haven't even been on the angler up until now. I just wanted to put this quick clip together just to kind of show you. I kind of wish Fishing Planet somehow, I don't know how they could do it, but maybe it's too difficult to do, but I kind of wish they would add, especially now that we have all this deep water to fish in at the ocean, some kind of actual vertical jigging. One thing I really loved about the angler itself was the jigging. Oh man, I could spend the jigging for hours, but you can see what I'm doing there is I'm raising that up to around 10, 12 foot off the bottom, letting it fall, 10, 12 foot off the bottom, letting it fall. Going back to that clip where I was showing you where I was catching snapper and job fish, it just seems kind of clunky on the ocean. I was expecting a little more, but anyway, there's my review, and I do think it's a positive one. Take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.